Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's up, everybody? Good morning and a very happy Thursday to you all. A DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk studios this morning. A big thanks for making us a part of your start. Whether you're listening on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, available to stream up online at sportstalk1051.com. You got the Wisco Sports app. You could download that, take it on the go. You got your smart devices like your Alexa speakers. And, of course, the video stream that is up and rolling on YouTube here this morning. But a big thanks for making us a part of your start on this Thursday morning if you're already up and at it. What do we have on our game plan for this Friday Eve? Brewers falling last night to the Mariners 7-5. Mariners scoring all of their runs in the first two innings. It was definitely an off night for Dustin May, suffering his first loss as a Brewers pitcher. Only going 7 innings in the game, 7 earned runs, couple of walks, just 1 K. But the bullpen able to lock it down afterwards. And the offense just, they were able to chip away at it a bit. We'll just use a Lombardi quote and say we didn't lose, we ran out of time. So Brewers pulled in close. Who is this Joey Ortiz guy, by the way? Another home run for Joey Ortiz last night. He was 2 of 3, had 4 RBIs. Who the heck is this guy? Like, who body snatched him? What alien is now playing for Joey Ortiz? But last night, with a couple more hits, Jackson Churio also added 3 hits. 5 of the 8 hits from the Brewers last night coming from those 2 players. Cooper Pratt was back in the lineup as well, so maybe he's starting to get a little bit more healthy at this point in time. But the Brewers will go for the series win this afternoon, looking to take this series against the Mariners. Robert Gassler is going to be on the mound here for the Crew, but the Brewers will be going up against George Kirby, who is 8-9 with a 3.89 ERA. So we'll preview this game and look back at last night's loss for the Brew Crew as we wrap up this series and look ahead to what could be a very entertaining, a very fun, but a very tough series with the Atlanta Braves coming our way here starting tomorrow. So plenty of baseball chat here this morning. Football-wise, it's travel day for the green and gold. The Packers having a closed practice yesterday, was opened to the media and such, just kind of a walkthrough type of practice. But we'll start to take a look at tomorrow's game, looking ahead to Game 2 of this preseason as we start to wrap up this preseason and move on to the regular season here too. So we'll throw some football chat in here. Speaking of football, best of luck to all the high school football teams who are going to kick off their season tonight. I know we got a lot of local teams that are going to be in action, North, Chippewa Falls, Memorial, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So best of luck to all of the local teams who will be starting their season tonight. But also on the docket, we'll catch up with Jake Boakes. It is a Thursday, so if you have any questions for our DNR warden friend, you can shoot those on over to the Shoe Doctors bullpen line with a quick text at 715-830-1912. And if you could send those on over right now so we can get those to Jake, that would be great. We'll do a little 3-up and 3-down. If you'd like to play along with us, you can send those on over too. Excuse me. Little 3-up and 3-down. What are the 3 things that are kind of rising in terms of a stock report, and what are the 3 things that are falling? All right. I'm losing my voice here, man. So you can send those on over too, or hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line. So that's kind of your game plan here this morning, and whatever the heck else you want to throw in that you think we should talk about, discuss, get a question, whatever the case may be, we are an open book for sure. So send those on over. If we like that segment, we like that topic, we'll hit that up. So, but let's get things going here with the leadoff. We got intern Carter joining us here in just a skosh. Let's get things rocking and rolling here this morning. We'll take our first break, and then we'll jump right into it. Where we will talk some baseball with the Brewers looking for a series win against the Mariners tonight, or I should say this afternoon, with Robert Gasser going on the mound. We'll look back at last night's loss, talk a little more Joey Ortiz, and preview Game 3 of this series. That's coming up after these quick words. What's the latest and greatest going on at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire right now? Well, simply check out their weekly ad deals. You could go to the Hy-Vee Facebook page and check out the flyer yourself, or you could just, listen right here, because they've got Hy-Vee Choice Reserved beef, bacon, wrapped top sirloin fillets for just a $3.99. Not a bad thing to put up on the grill here towards the end of August, or maybe you're kind of doing a little preseason backyard grilling for tomorrow night's game. How about 99 cents Hy-Vee bow tie pasta, $2.99 Dole chopped salad kits as well. So, there's, as always, you could go through the flyer. $3.99 Tombstone Pizza. Heck yes, that is huge in our household. $2.49 Lay's potato chips. So if you're looking for some snacks or some quick meals with this time of year, especially with school starting up here soon, you can go over to Hy-Vee in Eau Claire and save some money while you do your shopping, but also saving at the gas pump with their perks. So it's like a 2-for-1 savings deal there, too. But you can, again, go to the Hy-Vee in Eau Claire Facebook page and just check out their weekly flyer. And don't forget to follow it, too, so you are always up to date on if they got a quick sale, a 1-day sale, 3-day sale, or any events that they got going on, because there's always something happening at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. All right, let's get things going here this morning. First up, we'll say good morning to our intern, Mr. Intern Carter. Happy start to the high school football season, Carter. I know you're going to be working one of the games, Chi-High.
Chi-High, yep.
Chi-High, DC Everest. So
should be fun.
Hard to believe we're already here.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it, but the calendar says so. So there you have it. But yeah, it should be. I know we got a lot of local teams that are going to be kicking off tonight. So again, another best of luck and shout out to all those teams who will be starting their seasons this year. So, but how's things going elsewise?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Brewers finally winning again. So
right. Yeah.
That helps.
Yep. Last night they did fall a little bit short. Dustin May. Typical, right? You go 22-0 in a win, and then goes complete opposite there for a hot minute. But you kind of figured the Mariners probably wanted to come out a little hot, and after getting embarrassed the night prior and put up some runs early. And, well, they put up 7 in the first 2, and that's all they needed. Brewers offense tried to climb back into it, just ran out of time. Dustin May not on it last night, clearly struggling. And just going 2 innings. But give Brewers, if we look at some of the positive things from this game, give them credit from the bullpen. D.L. Hall going 3 innings. Wilson did not allow an earned run. How about that in 2 innings? Bryce Wilson, that is my kid's least favorite Brewer player. I don't know why. he does not like Bryce Wilson. But Brewers bullpen keeping the team in it as the offense tried to claw back out of it. But not enough, as they dropped that game last night 7-5. But seriously, who is this Joey Ortiz player? I don't know who he is. Like, is this somebody completely different now? What are we doing here? 7 home runs now on the season after another one last night. His last 91 at bats, he is hitting .341. He is slugging .615 in his last 7 games, slugging .667. And hitting .375. Who is Joey Ortiz right now? Can we bubble wrap this? Can we preserve this so we get this in October when we get to the postseason? You look at it, this isn't just something completely recent, because the month of July he hit .309, and so far in the month of August the guy is hitting .364. Now, if he continues to hit .364, we take that every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to happen. But if he hits around 300 for the rest of the season going into October, you keep that man in the lineup. No more overthinking this. Keep that. You know what? In fact, I would even move him up in the lineup. Keep him where it's at, because just don't mess with anything right now with Joey Ortiz. But who the heck is this guy?
I think the cool part is his defense hasn't suffered. He's still playing Gold Glove level defense. So when you combine that with how he's hitting, it's been impressive to watch. And I think some of it's been he's taking more pitches. He's seeing more pitches. And it's you have hope when he comes up right now, which is something you didn't at the beginning of the season.
Dare I say, do we have more confidence right now in Joey Ortiz and like Christian Yelich and stuff? I mean, great googly mogly here, but it's fun to watch. You mentioned the defense too. I know the other night when he was playing short, I mean, just so smooth, and it's this is the version where he's going to make things more interesting now in the offseason. If I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if we get to that point in the offseason, and let's say he finishes off this season still playing at this high level, he may have saved the job and become the starting third baseman. Sure, we'd like a little bit more power and such, but man, give me a guy who's hitting 341 in his last 90-some at-bats, and he's got 7 home runs so far this season. His season numbers you take away that probably first month of the season, month and a half, and but he's easily playing at an all-star level right now. And I'd rather have him playing at an all-star level right now than in the first half of the season.
Yeah, and I think this is what makes the Brewers so much different, is because he tweaks something in his stance, just a touch, and it's helped this much. And I think that's why the Brewers win so much, is because their coaching staff just sees little things they can do to improve, and then all of a sudden you turn Joey Ortiz into one of the best hitters in baseball over the last month.
Yeah.
So,
gosh, just say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again. One of the best hitters in baseball in the last month.
He's got the highest OPS in the National League in the last month.
And I mean, his season OPS number is now up to 701. He is hitting at 252 on the season with an OPS of a 701. If we rewound it at March and said, you are going to get Joey Ortiz hitting 250 this year with a 700 OPS, would you take it?
Yeah.
Yes, we all would have taken that. 100%. We would have taken that in a heartbeat. And that's exactly what he is doing this year.
Well, he's kind of kept us afloat a little bit when we're struggling right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the dude had 4 RBIs last night of the 5 total runs. Joey Ortiz had 4 of the RBIs, for crying out loud. So, please keep it up, Joey.
Yeah. Please
keep it up, because it's fun to watch. That's the thing, is like, I was wrong. A lot of us were wrong. That, hey, we need something else here right now. But that's baseball, right? It goes ebbs and flows, the streaks. Maybe it cools off. I hope not. Let's keep riding the Joey Ortiz train right now, because he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun to watch, whether it's on defense, and can't believe I'm saying it, but right now on offense too, he's fun to watch. But so Joey did his best to carry that team last night. Just didn't work out. Dustin May going just 2 innings, 7 hits, 7 earned runs. Got in that hole right away in the first inning. But, I'm not too concerned right now. I mean, you look at the first 2 starts, and he was great for the Brewers. Pitchers are going to go through this. But Dustin May said after the game, there was a lot of stuff I could have executed better, but it was one of those outings where you can't be super frustrated with yourself just because you didn't really give up any hard contact. So, like, you were still beating guys and stuff, but they were just putting it where we weren't tonight. I think one positive thing maybe in this thing, the fact he only went 2 innings, he's going to be fresh for his next start going forward. But I think you just kind of move on if you're Dustin May and just get ready for your next start. So I hope people aren't completely losing their you-know-what and thinking the sky's falling with Dustin May. Let's see how he responds and bounces back to that.
I think it was just a little bit of bad luck. I mean, like you said, the Mariners were stone cold. They were going to score some runs eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost got swept last series before the Brewers, and they didn't score many runs. So they were going to score some eventually. And, I mean, even in the first inning with 2 outs, there was a blue single in front of Bowers. If that's the thing, if that's
Frelick or Lara, yeah.
And so it's a little bit of bad luck. And then they're out of there with only 4 runs. And now, I mean, we win 5-4. So it's just, I think it was a little bit of bad luck.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that play because, I mean, that scored, a couple of runs on that. And if that is a normal outfielder and not Jake Bauers, that's caught. Mm-hmm. Does that change the outcome of the game or the complexity of the game? I don't know, maybe, but it made a difference in that first inning to add a couple more runs to that. So that's what you're going to get by having Jake Bauers in right field. But you also want his bat in the lineup.
Yep.
You want Andrew Vaughn's bat in the lineup. So those are the things, and can't necessarily put Andrew Vaughn at third anymore because we just got done singing the praises of Joey Ortiz. So, but it's one of those things, and I think he said it correctly. They were just kind of hitting it where they weren't defensively, and Mariners were going to come out swinging because they were probably a little frustrated and embarrassed from the night prior. So let's regroup and get the win tonight with Robert Gasser on the mound here for the Crew. But George Kirby is going for the Mariners. Kirby so far this year is 8-9 with a 3.89 ERA. He's coming off of no decision against the Astros back in the 14th, where he only went 4 2/3, and he gave up 5 earned runs. Before that, 5 innings against Tampa Bay in a no decision, 1 earned run. And then back on the second against Minnesota, 7 innings, no decision, 0 earned runs in that game. So far in 3 games in the month of August, he is 0-0 with a 3.24 ERA. When we look at it from an experience standpoint, you got Bauers has 7 career at-bats against him. Over. Vaughn, 9 career at-bats, just 111. Other than that, you got everybody else that's kind of about 1 game or a couple at-bats a piece there, so nothing really to write home about. Robert Gasser going up, he's coming off of a loss against the Dodgers where he went 6 1/3, giving up 8 hits, 3 earned runs. But I think it's still a quality start for Robert Gasser at that point. And that's the game before Minnesota. He just went 4 2/3, giving up 3 earned runs. And then against the Angels, 5 innings, 1 earned run here. So Gasser so far in the month of August in those 3 games, he's got a 3.94 ERA. The thing that concerns me with Robert Gasser here is, what version are we going to get? I think right now from all the starters, you can maybe throw in Shane Drone in this. Maybe the most up and down, like from a consistency standpoint. What are we going to get from him? What version are we going to get from him this afternoon? Because this is a series, Brewers. You got to still. Yeah. These are the series you got to win, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you got the Braves coming up here. Not to look too far ahead, but one of the top teams in the National League. I know we're all geeked up and excited about it. We're going to have Mizorowski versus Chris Sale this weekend. But we got to take care of business here and got to win this game tonight to secure this series win. And, for me, Robert Gasser, I like the guy. I think, he's shown some good outings. I'm nervous because I don't know what version we're going to get tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's a little more nervous, too, because you don't know what version of Kirby you're going to get. Yeah. And he can be shut down. He's a really good pitcher.
Yep.
But if Gasser's got his command, he's a really good pitcher. And I think it's going to depend on that. The Brewers are starting to hit better, so that's making me feel a little bit better. But they're going to have to score some runs again.
Yeah. Yep. Give them some run support. Maybe jump out early and be a little aggressive.
I actually thought Gasser pitched really well against the Dodgers. He had that 2-run home run he allowed in that 7th inning, but he pitched a really good game, and we just didn't give him any run support.
No. Just can he now do another one?
Yeah.
Can he stack that and build upon that and such? So we'll talk some more baseball coming up here. We got to take a quick break as we approach the bottom of the hour here. So send us your thoughts on the Crew on Joey Ortiz. It's Joey Ortiz right now, the MVP of the team, dare we say, at this point in time. We laugh, but, man, that guy has been really good so far here for the Brewers. Plenty more baseball and Brewers chat coming up after these quick words. It happens every year. 1 minute you are grilling some burgers, maybe heading to the lake and watching the kiddos play some baseball. The next thing you know, you're shopping for some school supplies and wondering where the heck summer went. Before the backpacks come out, and I know some of them already came out, some of them are already back to school. But before the busy schedule starts to take over, now is the perfect time to freshen up your home with some new flooring from Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire. Whether it's some soft new carpet for the family room, durable luxury vinyl planks like some Rigid Max flooring for the rest of the home, the team at Carpet City Flooring Center will help you find the perfect floor for your family and your budget. They are locally owned, they know Wisconsin homes, and they are committed to making the process easy from start to finish. Make the most of these last weeks of summer. Stop on into Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today, because home is where Wisconsin families make their best memories. Brewers right now, as we begin today, looking at it from across Major League Baseball, if we, in this final quarter of the regular season here, Brewers sitting there at 78-49, still holding on to a 4.5-game lead over the Cubs, thanks to the White Sox beating the Cubs last night. But Braves also holding on to a 4.5-game lead over the Phillies. Dodgers in complete control of their division, 9 games ahead of the Padres for that division. The wild card in the National League, Cubbies, Phillies, Padres, and then the Diamondbacks are just 1 game back, but the Cardinals just 3 back. And you've got the Marlins 4 back, Pirates 5.5 back, Reds sitting there at 6.5 back. That's a crazy AL wild card chase for that final spot. I think, is it fair to say we know the 2 wild card teams is going to be 2 of the 3 from the American League East? It's either if Tampa Bay doesn't win a division, they'll be a wild card team, but it's 2. The top 2 are going to come from the AL East. Yeah. So it's pretty much a race for this final wild card spot. I mean, AL West could kind of be up for grabs here too at this point in time, with the Astros at 64-63 and the Rangers 62-65. But Twins holding on to that final wild card spot. They picked up a win last night. Rangers just a half game back. Toronto just 1 back. Cleveland 1.5 back. Baltimore 1.5 back. Detroit 1.5 back. Seattle, a desperate team, now 2.5 back from that final wild card spot. Yes, they are 7 games under 500, but they're only 2.5 back. This is definitely early 2000s NBA Eastern Conference vibes of teams making playoffs with a record below 500. So, but when we look at it too here from the Brewers, MLB.com had a piece up. One big question facing every team down the stretch. So I want to throw it back to all of you. What do you think is the biggest question facing the Brewers as we are now down the stretch? And maybe it's the same as what Adam McCalvey from Brewers.com picked. He said, can the pitching hold up? The Brewers offense is what it is at this point, pesky and speedy, but with little power, especially if Yelich and Contreras don't break free from long slumps. So it's going to be on the pitching to continue leading the way, which gets tricky when you consider the youth of this group, led by ace right-hander Jacob Misiorowski. He's heading into uncharted territory in innings, and he's not alone. The Brewers are already planning to shift left-hander Shane Drowan to long relief to control his workload, and left-hander Kyle Harrison is likely to reach his career high within the next 5 or 6 starts. So, would you agree that the lone question, the one big question facing the Brewers down the stretch is the pitching?
I think so. I think I was going to say bullpen, but I mean, that's just fine too, because like he said, your offense, you've seen it. This is what you're going to get. This is what you got last year. It's what you're going to have to deal with. It's going to be small ball. You're not going to hit a lot of home runs. And so you're going to have to pitch. And they didn't pitch bad last year in the playoffs at all. But you're going to have to pitch well again this year. And that starts with Jacob Misiorowski. But I think, Harrison struggled in San Diego. Now May struggled yesterday. You can't have that in the postseason. And get it out of the way now. But you need to get it out now. Because they won't win games against the Dodgers doing that. You
got to be dialed in, right?
Yes.
You got to be dialed in for that. And I think, a lot of fans might kind of pick they might pick the offense just because that's the easy thing. But I think Adam said it correctly. They are what they are at this point, right? I mean, this is what they are. They're not all of a sudden, I don't think, going to go on this insane run with home runs and powers. And sure, there might be a guy that really kind of steps up and has a great postseason run, a la Orlando Arcia that one year when he found the power stroke in the playoffs. But overall, this is the offense. This is what we know. Yes, we want a little bit more from Contreras and Yelich. Those are the two that I think if there is going to be a little bit of a power surge, it's got to be from those guys. But it is what it is at this point. So I think I would agree with McCulvey's pick that especially it is a younger group in uncharted territories with innings. And that's why you're still seeing a 6-man rotation to try to keep these guys, preserved. Mizorowski, of course, Kyle Harrison. I mean, even Logan Henderson, he's made 15, 16 career starts. So, I mean, these are guys that have not been in this situation before. So you kind of factor in the bullpen here too. Shane Drone's going back to the bullpen. They seem to be a little bit more experienced with the bullpen when you got a Chad Patrick in there. Obviously McGill and Uribe and D.L. Hall and Aaron Ashby, guys that have played in the playoffs here. But man, if this is a team that when you get to the postseason, if somehow they can get to, say, 6 innings in a playoff game and they have the lead and then you hand it off to that bullpen for a 7, 8, 9, I like their chances. I like their chances. And it does, with the offense being what it is, it does 100% put a lot more pressure on the pitching staff to not have a game like they did last night, right? You can't have a game like last night because Brewers may kind of claw back into it, but I don't think they have enough firepower to completely crawl back out of that.
But on the flip side, I mean, we put up 22 runs a game before, right? So we had Gary Sanchez pitching in the 9th inning. So I think there's going to be games where the offense picks up the defense or in the pitching and the pitching picks up the offense. But even Shane Drowen has already reached his most innings pitched in his career. So they're going to have to now, like you said, just dial in because it's a long season and they're getting to the end of it, but now you're getting to the most important games.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So, but hey, do you have anything else that you would say is the biggest question remaining for the Brewers in the stretch run? What if we said, what is the biggest question for a player down the stretch? Biggest question mark. Is it Contreras? Is it Yelich? Is it Joey Ortiz to continue doing what he's doing? Is it Bryce Terang dealing with a little bit of a knee injury going down the stretch here? What player do you have the biggest question going down the stretch? Who would you throw in? Is it Mizorowski because uncharted territory sort of thing? Is it one of these pitchers?
I think it's got to be Contreras just because he's in the prime of his career and he was supposed to be our best player going into the season. And he's turned into a liability. And he kind of started hitting well in Dodger Stadium, but that didn't follow to Seattle or back to American Family Field to play Seattle. So if he doesn't break it, it's going to be tough because he is your leader. He is one of your better players. And in my opinion, some of his hitting struggles have coincided with a little bit of defensive struggles. And so he's got to, if he hits and plays defense, there's a chance you could go pretty deep in the playoffs. But without Contreras hitting, kind of in trouble. Because he was supposed to be your power bat.
Yeah, it's, you look at it, too, what he's been doing here in the last 108 at-bats, just $176 and just slugging .324. And it has, just a little bit better in his last 7 games, but that's $192. So not a whole lot better. Yeah, I think Contreras for sure. You look at him and, so far this season, he's .257. That's below his career average. His on base is a 330, below career average. OPS, 711, below his career average of 789, though. So he's definitely got to be that guy because if we are in a situation where Contreras is batting down in the 7th and the 8th spot again, like we saw earlier in the weekend, I think that's a sign that, okay, our offense is kind of struggling here a bit. So, yeah, I could definitely see Contreras in there. I think for me, I'm just kind of curious, too. I'd throw this one in consideration. How much is that knee going to bother Bryce Terang down the stretch? Is it something that we have to pay attention to? Is it something that is going to be a factor? Now, he did steal a base last night. So, but you kind of look at, his last 15 games, he's only hitting .207, too. So his offense has been struggling here a little bit. You'd like to get in that situation that maybe the Brewers are a few games ahead where they clinch the division maybe with a week left, and then you can get maybe a Turang, some more rest in that. But at the same time, I kind of like that the Cubs are still pushing the Brewers so they can't relax too much and, kind of like, all right, go into the postseason and maybe not super focused, but it's a double-edged sword here. I think for Turang, he needs probably a little bit more rest, but the Brewers probably can't afford to put him down. Maybe now that Cooper Pratt's back and, Sal Frelick comes, I don't know, maybe you can have somebody else play second, but Turang is so vital for this team too. He's got to be able to hopefully get through that. Hopefully it doesn't affect, because we saw last year with Contreras how much, a finger injury affected him at the plate.
Yeah, and, Turang's been our most consistent hitter all year. Mm-hmm. And so we don't really have a leadoff hitter, and he's kind of stepped into that role. And he's done a really good job. So you're going to need him as well going into the postseason to be able to hit. Because, right now, a lot of players on the team are slumping, which has just been rough. But I think Turang is, like we talked about this last week, I think if anybody's going to break out of it, it's Bryce Turang. Yeah. Just because he can take walks, he can hit for power, he can hit for average, and he's just so good defensively.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, my boy Sal Frelick might be coming back. He was in the dugouts during that 22-0 game, but he played in a rehab game again last night, and he had another home run. He was 2 for 5, leading off too. So we just talked about the leadoff. So 2 for 5, also had an RBI single. So possibly could be coming back. But Pat Murphy said yesterday before the game that he was going to play last night, which he did, and see if his throws and his arm respond the way they did the past time he played. Then he's going to play another game after that, which would be today, to see if he responds. Back-to-back nights. If his arm can respond, if so, we can make a decision on Friday. I don't think we'll ever know when he was asked about if his arm has been the reason for his offensive struggles. Knowing Sal the way we all know Sal, he was not going to speak up about it. I think he's been injured all year. I'm just hopeful he can play through this and not have to have a more serious approach to it. He's got to know himself and not be his own worst enemy, and that he ends up damaging himself for the future because he'll play through it. We know him. So that's why we sent him back. We could have kept him and activated him on Tuesday. He was ready to go, but we sent him back in order to ensure that he knew what we wanted. 2 straight days playing, and your arm feels good. We told him this is your career at stake. That was kind of a weird phrase to say, career at stake. Injury-wise, performance-wise, I don't know. It was just that was kind of I don't want to say bold, but maybe like, sort of like, is pressure on?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. But, hey, I wouldn't mind trying Sal at leadoff. We saw it last year.
Yeah.
If you could get him and then maybe move the lineup down or shuffle it up a little bit. But, hey, 2 home runs now in his rehab game, so the summer of Salvatore may be coming back here soon. We need it, right?
Yes.
We need that little bit of juice, and we need that little bit of Sal in our lives. So
The energy,
yep. All right, let's take a quick break as we will wrap up the first hour. We'll be back in just a skosh. The fall sports season is on. From Friday night football to volleyball, soccer, cross country, athletes across the Chippewa Valley are getting ready to compete. But when injuries happen, getting the right care matters. Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine specializes in helping athletes getting back into the game with expert orthopedic care, sports medicine, and treatment that you can trust. Whether you are a weekend warrior or a high school athlete chasing your goals, their team is here to keep you moving. Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, your partner in staying active, healthy, and ready for the season ahead. So again, Brewers today, 1:10 first pitch. 1:10 first pitch. Coverage will begin about 35 minutes prior. You can tune into that game on your radio dials of 105.1 FM and 790 AM. We'll see if the Brew Crew can pick up a win and secure a series win ahead of what should be pretty fun, close, tight matchup with the Braves. Maybe even a playoff preview between the Brewers and the Braves here. So pitching-wise, for the guys that is slated to get the start for the Brewers in this game, yes, we are going to see a Jacob Mizorowski versus Chris Sale game too. So Jacob Mizorowski versus Chris Sale tomorrow, Logan Henderson on Saturday, and Shane Drowan then on Sundays. So that definitely will get people pumped up for tomorrow night's game when you have those two aces on the mound. Should be a good matchup. But no offense to Miz, but I'm getting really excited for Logan Henderson every time he goes out there too. I mean, coming off that, this is where I'll be excited for Logan Henderson. Can downplay it as much, but that game on Sunday against the Dodgers, going up against Skubal, the narrative game between the two, he pitched awesome. All right, now how do you bounce back? I think what's really beneficial for pitchers like that, or for any pitcher, a starting pitcher, and I think it helped Mizorowski a lot last year. You have that build-up and you have that hype and you're so jacked up, but then you have a few days off to kind of recover, kind of let the emotions go. It's not like you're playing again right away the next day. You kind of have some of that time to relax, let it cool down, and then refocus on your next start.
I think he's arguably our second-best pitcher.
Yeah. And
I mean, we all were talking about Kyle Harrison, and I mean, Dusty May had a good start. But Logan Henderson, I mean, he hasn't allowed more than 3 earned runs in any start this year.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
In his career?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of quietly become our second-best pitcher and another exciting player to watch. I mean, we talk about Jacob Mizorowski. It's exciting to know he's going to pitch. I kind of feel that way about Logan Henderson now.
I know. I'm in the same breath, and it's so kind of weird, strange to realize too. He doesn't have many career starts under his belt. Like last year, it was a few at the beginning of the year, and a lot of fans were like, "Hey, get this guy back up. We need more starts. We need more starts." So this year, he got that opportunity, and then he was hurt for a little bit. But when you look at Logan Henderson, he's still a newbie. He's still a youngster out there. Yeah, 17 career starts he has had. 17 career starts, a 2.44 career ERA. What's wrong with him? He's pitching 2.70 this year, for crying out loud, dude.
Yeah.
What the heck, man? But and the fact too that we've been talking about innings pitched and a lot of these guys reaching that. I hate to say injuries can be a blessing in disguise, but Henderson missed quite a bit of time. He's only at 63 innings pitched so far this year.
Yeah.
And we talk about trying to keep these guys fresh when they get to the postseason. I mean, maybe some of that was a blessing in disguise too, so you're not overtaxed, because that was a thing with Mizorowski last year. When he was getting those innings, it's like, okay, is it going to be too much? How do you kind of control that a little bit? He ended up coming out of the pen when it came to the postseason. But, Logan Henderson, with just 63 innings under his belt this year, he's probably not going to hit 100 innings pitched. I kind of hope that's not the case, before the regular season. So you would think that he's going to be fairly ready to go and fairly fresh to open up the postseason whenever that is going to be. Because, you have it up there. He missed the whole month of June.
Yeah.
He missed that entire month, and right now he's been dialed in every single month. It feels like a 2.14 ERA in May, a 2.57 in July, and so far in August a 2.79. He is really fun to watch, and you look at his last 3 games too: 6 innings, 6 1/3, and 7 innings. And his pitch count, he hasn't gone over 100 in any of these games. It looks like. I don't know if maybe scroll up a little bit earlier. Did he go over 100? No. So he. Yeah, and really you can kind of see a trend, too. It's been building up a little bit more when you see those totals. Earlier on, it was in the 70s, and now you're stretching them out a little bit more. Mm-hmm. That last game in July against the Giants, 93, 83 against Pittsburgh, 91, 93. No, he's a lot of fun to watch.
And you're kind of hoping he hits his stride going into the postseason. The cool part is he was able to pitch so well at San Diego, a really good team, and then at L.A.
Yeah.
And another super good team. So he kind of rises to the occasion just like The Miz. And, I mean, I think he's got to be your second pitcher in the postseason.
I mean, you even go back to that game against the Dodgers on May 22nd. 5 innings. He only gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, struck out 7. Yeah. Look at the teams he's gone up against. I was at that Yankees game where he went 5 innings. He gave up a couple earned runs. One of them was a solo shot to Aaron Judge right away, but he settled in nicely after that. That was the walk-off Bryce Terang game on Mother's Day. So, I mean, he's gone up against good lineups, good teams, and might have been one of the few bright spots of that West Coast trip. Like you mentioned, yeah, he got charged with a loss at San Diego, but it's still a quality start. And, you know, a lot of guys struggled to go on that West Coast trip, but I think that worked out for Logan Henderson to get that experience, continue to be getting this experience, because when you get to the playoffs, we know those are the cream of the crop. So,
yeah.
And, well, he's going to get another one with this Braves team coming up this weekend. All right, shot clock is going to cut us off here in about a minute. So coming up next hour, let's talk a little football. It is travel day for the Pack as they get set to take on the Denver Broncos for preseason game number 2. Could be a big preseason game number 2. Explain that coming up in the next hour here. So we'll hit that up. It is a 3 up and 3 down Thursday. What are 3 things that are up? 3 things that are down. Bo a little bit earlier said Brewers, Ortiz, and Packers for his ups. Downs, Dodgers, Cubs, and Musgrave. So if you want to make your picks, you can send those on over to us as well. So we'll talk about that. Don't forget, Jake Pokes also joins us. We'll chat a little outdoors with him, answering your questions. So if you have any hunting, fishing, outdoor-related questions, please text those on over to that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912 so we can forward those along to Mr. Bolks, who'll be with us at around 8:30 this morning. So, all right, shot clock's going to cut us off. We've got 1 hour in, but we got 3 more to go on this Thirsty Thursday, this Friday Eve. What's on your mind? Let's hear from you, all right? We got some news updates. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.